Hi ladies, it's Sally. It's Wednesday. Today's videos are always casual catch-ups, something that I've been thinking about, things that I've seen that I thought I would chat to you girls about. Today's video is about the use of estrogen in our skincare. Now, I'm sure you've already seen it. It's already been in the news. It's all over social media. And dare I say it, with a sigh, you are going to see more and more of the vulture-like marketeers and advertisers preying on us women at a time in our lives when we often feel most vulnerable and unsure. And this is my thoughts. I have two feelings about the use of estrogen in skincare. On the one hand, I'm super excited that we are finding scientific breakthroughs. We're getting the information from medical and responsible sources. And on the other hand, I feel like it's just going to open those floodgates to all of those brands, laboratories, skincare marketeers, advertisers that already know that at this time of our lives, menopause, perimenopause and beyond, we already feel vulnerable, unsure of ourselves and want to seek the best advice for our health, wellness and our skin. So when you start to see skincare brands coming out with their menopause overnight recovery, their menopause anti-aging serum, their menopause saviors when it comes to skincare, remember ladies, it's skincare. It's no menopause skincare. It doesn't exist. It's nonsense. It's a marketing ploy that I know we have to be really super vigilant about because it will be so easy to get sucked in. So with that said, rant over. Goodness, Sally, chill. I wanted to talk about the bits that I've been researching. Now, remember, I am not a doctor, medic. I'm not a pharmacist. This is just because I'm a woman. I'm 55. I'll be 56 this year in April. And I want to get the best, most informed information so that I can make the best choice, the most informed choice, should I say. So I've been looking at estrogen skincare for about 18 months now. I haven't really done anything about it because I feel that it's still in its infancy. However, when I started to do a bit of research, I realized I was wrong. They have been researching the use of estrogen in skincare for many, many years. A paper that was published in 2006 actually found, and let me see, it's from the medics in Sao Paulo. Very eminent scientists, dermatologists found that the topical use of transdermal estradiol, which is our HRT estradiol, I'm going to talk about the differences in a minute, had a significant effect on not only the thickness of facial skin, but also dramatically improved collagen production. Now, this really was exciting and it started to make me feel a little bit more, I don't know, maybe a little bit better about using topical estradiol or estradiols on the face. So where am I at with it? Well, first of all, you may or may not know, because let's face it, with our bodies, often we don't know these things. Our body produces three types of estrogen, E1, E2, E3. E1, estrone, is the weakest of the three, and it's often around in our prepubescent and when we have our first cycle, our first period, and at menopause. Funny, isn't it? The opposite ends of our journey. So estrone is not often talked about because it is something that seemingly is just around for those periods of our lives. Estradiol is E2. That is the most potent, and that's found in our reproductive organs. And that is often the compound that's in your HRT. I have estradiol gel. That's a transdermal gel that I apply every single morning. That's my HRT. Now, estriol is a weaker form of estrogen again. It's called E3, estriol. And that is something that is used in these topical skincare. Now, why is it used in topical skincare? Well, estriol has been proven not to have any systemic effect on the body, whereas estradiol, we know does. Of course it does. It's our hormone replacement therapy. It's the thing that is making us feel different, better, hopefully, if you're on HRT. I know it does for me. Estriol is often prescribed for topical application for vaginal dryness or atrophy. And of course, the vaginal skin is very different to our face. And I just wanted to chat with you about this. Had we thought about it? That your skin of the vagina doesn't have pores. It is very different. It is shaped differently. It is more dense. It has lots of folds and ridges. And our face is very flat and has pores of differing sizes. Our facial skin is very thin around our eyes and on our neck. The vaginal skin is a little bit different. It's a bit thicker. So it's, to me, then becomes a bit confusing. Why would a vaginal estriol work on our face? And is it going to be systemic? Because obviously our face has got pores, our vagina hasn't. Really, I am a little bit confused, and I am going to be totally honest with you girls. I'm not entirely sure. What I have been doing, however, is I have been using an estriol gel on my neck just to see if I notice a difference, should I say. So far, I think I do, but I'm going to do a whole video on that, and I'm going to explain why I do. Now, this is the question I'm going to ask you. This is where I want your opinion. We're not scientists, we're not professors in dermatology. I am a medi-esthetician. That simply means that I am quite a few layers up, I suppose, from an esthetician. I do injectables. I am licensed, insured to be able to look after skin at a very much deeper level. I have a Medi-Spa, a clinic, and I've taught countless other students how to do the same. So, but I'm not, I'm not an expert on hormone health. I'm not an expert on any of that, but I am an expert on my body. Now, I want to know if estradiol, which is the systemic one, which can be applied on fatty parts of the body, can be used on the face, because it clearly has an effect. The study that they did in Sao Paulo was using estradiol. Now, what if I used just one pump on my leg and the rest of it on my face? Would that have a difference with my aging, my anti-aging routine? It's one of those questions you kind of have to think, and nobody will give you the answer. And I think nobody's giving me the answer because all of these companies are creating estriol skincare. So I think it's kind of like, no, we don't want you to look at that. We want you to look at this. This is where we want you to spend your hard-earned cash. So that's it, girls. And I thought I would just have a chat, what I've discovered, how interesting it is that almost 20 years ago and beyond, there are older studies, which I will link in the description box for you so you can have a read, how the topical use of transdermal estradiol on the face did have an impact on the thickness and quality of the skin and the collagen production. Really super interesting. Now, I will tell you this, my deep dive into my particular HRT has shown me the reason they recommend that you only use it on fatty parts of your body, which would be your thighs, lower legs, buttocks, tummy, arms as well, is because those are the areas that the product was tested and trialed on for FDA approval. Interesting, right? Really interesting. So of course, you're not going to be recommended to use it anywhere else. Now, I can understand not using it on your breast tissue, but what about the face? That's really interesting. So that's it. That's my Wednesday catch up. It isn't obviously advice, I'm not giving you any advice. What I am advising you to do is go and do your research. What do you think? Have you noticed an increase in menopause skincare, menopause anti-aging, menopause recovery creams and all of this? I know I have. And honestly, it makes me a little bit annoyed. We're already navigating this landscape. It's an alien landscape, and we don't need these marketers and these advertisers to bombard us with products and slapping a label of menopause on. Yeah, it's a bit offensive, I think, actually. Now, the truth of the matter is that I have been in the beauty and aesthetics industry for over 32 years. I've seen trends come and go. The new hormone trend, and I will call it a trend because it is absolutely going to trend, is something that I'm really cautious about. I think we have to be really cautious. We have to be respectful of those that have perhaps suffered with hormones, and we have to really understand that we need to be taking advice from a professional. I am not your professional when it comes to your hormones, never. But What I am good at is skincare. And the truth of the matter is the skincare that I recommend to you here, this is just what's on my desk today. These products that I love and I swear by are safe. They're very safe. They're very well researched. They're very well tested and I love them. Things like castor oil, for goodness sake, absolutely incredible. Argan oil, coconut oil, olive oil. If you want something natural as nature intended, those three. If you wanted something that I absolutely love, Ombre or Lisse, I absolutely love it. Korean skincare, and of course all of the fabulous devices. So I'm sitting firmly on the fence with this one, with the whole estrogen skincare ranges, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know if you've seen any good research. Do pop it in the comment section. I'll read every single one of those. I hope you enjoyed today's catch up. I can't wait to see you on Saturday. Until then, bye for now.